Hey there, fellow trainers, your friendly neighborhood outlaw, Johnny Starwind. Feel like I want to keep doing more Pokemon-based vlogs, sort of, on my YouTube, so if you like it, if you like my opinions, thank you. If you don't like it, or you have some good constructive criticism, leave them down in the comments down below. So, two things first. First off, I want to thank everybody that came out to the Pokemon Game Show at Katsucon this year. It was the 5th year in a row, and had a blast. The champion for the last year's champion, who also won the Master Round, won the championship again, but lost the Master Round, so congratulations. I'll put a link to her Twitter down below, so you can give her congratulations too. So that's the first thing. The next part, sorry about the lighting also, I'm doing this as I'm walking home from work. But here's the thing, if anybody's been online within the past 24 hours or so, or has seen any of the other PokeTubers, you've seen the new leaks that are out there. The rabbit, I guess you can call it lemur monkey kind of thing. The grass lemur monkey, going underneath the bridge. Yeah, darkness. Woo! But yeah, the grass lemur monkey kind of thing, the fire rabbit, and the water platypus. And that got me thinking, okay, if these aren't the official ones, these are really good ones. They're definitely better than those first leaks that we saw. I mean, anything was better than that water one in those first batch of leaks, for starters. But this batch was a pretty decent batch. They look official. They're the right kind of style based on how the other artists create their Pokemon, and they're good. But until it's, officially official and released, I'm still gonna call them fakes. Other PokeTubers will say the same thing, but yeah, that's my opinion. But that got me thinking, what would I want to see for Generation 8? Which, I don't have a Switch yet, but when Pokemon 8th generation comes out, I'm gonna get that. That's the main reason I'm gonna get a Switch. It usually for me, it's usually 3 games before I get a new system. I haven't gotten a PS4 yet because I'm waiting for Borderlands 3 to come out. Because Injustice 2, I definitely want to get my hands on that. But Borderlands 3 is definitely the other main one. And the third game, I'm iffy about because, well, there are some things that pique my interest, but there are things that, I want to make sure, I can always rent the third game for something that, just catches my interest. Like, Beyond Horizon Dawn, I think, is the other name. That game looks magically beautiful, so that's a possible third. But for Pokemon, I mean, like they said, all the new gen is going to be coming out exclusively for the Switch, so, and me being into Pokemon since its inception, I definitely got to get my hands on that. So with that, I'm looking to see what to do, but I'm also thinking, what would I possibly want starter-wise? Now, there are 3 things that I've always seen. There's things that I've seen with each of the starters, each of the main type starters. There is Pikachu, that's technically a starter because of Pokemon Yellow. There is, stuff like that. But I'll talk about the core starters, the grass, the fire, and the water. I've always seen that a grass type starter is based off of a creature that is extinct, you know. With the last one being based off of what I believe is called a stilt owl, which is an extinct species of owl that was in Hawaii. So keeping the folklore there. Hence why it's also a ghost type. So based off of extinct species, mostly dinosaurs, but with chestnut, I guess you could say that's the giant sloth. Torterra and Ankylodon, or a giant turtle, or tortoise, land tortoise. Skeptile, a giant lizard. Meganium, sort of like a brontosaurus or a apatosaurus. And Venusaur, another giant lizard. And Snivy, the superior line, I guess you could say is like the Titanoboa. So if that is the core aspect for what a Pokemon could be for a grass type, that it must be a species to where the final evolution is based off of an extinct species, that gives a whole slew of things that I would love to see. Me personally, I'd love to see a grass stegosaur. Mostly because growing up as a kid, I had a stuffed stegosaurus as a toy. I loved it and called it Steggy. It's my best friend. But, you know, plus I think that would actually be a pretty cool design. So, if anybody has any other guesses what they would like to see, I'd love to see them down below. If you have an idea of how you would design a grass stegosaurus, I will love you to the end of time if you draw it and put it down below, or a link to something like that. But if I'm looking at how it's going, we might go back to a extinct lizard species, or maybe another extinct mammal species. Now, what the final typing of it would be, well, that's anyone's guess. But personally, I would love the typings. I love all the typings that have been out there so far, but a really cool idea to always change up the game is to have not just the core three be super or weak against each other as normal, like fire beats grass, grass beats water, water beats fire. But like how they did in, what's it called? But how they almost got it right for 6th gen. I say almost because it was close, but had they flipped around things a little bit, it would have been better. So I felt, because Chestnut being grass fighting, Greninja being water dark, and Delphox being fire psychic, I felt that those typings really missed an opportunity. I would have loved to see grass dark and water fighting and fire psychic, or have it to where it's super effective going one way and then super effective going counterclockwise based on the second typing. You know, the fire typing would beat the grass typing, but the secondary type in that instance, dark, would beat the psychic typing. You know, that would have been a really cool thing. So I hope Game Freak and Pokemon does that for 8th generation. But that's another tangent. That's a hopes and dream tangent. I might do a video on what I hope to see in Gen 8. But for right now, we're talking about the starters. So grass type, it's going to be another extinct species. I personally hope it's a Stegosaurus as the final evolution. But you never know. It's going to follow those lines. Maybe a grass rhino, that would be another cool thing too. Grass rhinoceros sort of Pokemon, based off of some of the many extinct rhino species. That would be pretty cool. Next up is the Fire Starter. Now, a thing that I've noticed with the Fire Starters is that they've been sort of based off of the Chinese calendar. You got Charmander with Charizard, you could say is dragon. You know, let's see, Dragon, Cyndaquil with Typhlosion. Typhlosion is kind of a hard one to put in any sort of specific category that way. But let's see, we got Torchic, Blaziken, Year of the Rooster, Infernape, Year of the Monkey, Emboar, Year of the Pig. Oh man, it's been a while since I've had to play with a fire type. Litten's Final Evolution, Year of the Tiger, so on and so forth. So we've had seven sort of Chinese zodiacs down. We got 5 more to go. And I really like the Fire Starter design for these recent batch of leaks. And I feel like that's the closest thing that we might get to what it might actually be. If it's based off of the Chinese zodiac, I believe we would have Year of the Dog. Let's see, Year of the Dog, Year of the Ox. So a Fire Bull would be pretty beefy to see too. Maybe like a Fire Ground or a Fire Rock Bull. You know, that would be pretty cool to see. Or let's see, Year of the Rabbit. Again, that would be pretty cool to see too. So it's one of those 5 remaining ones. I'd have to look them up, but what do you guys think of that idea? The fact that it's going to be based off of another Chinese zodiac Pokemon, which I guess you could say that Typhlosion might be the representative for Year of the Dog. I don't know. But that's neither here nor there. I'll let y'all discuss about it down below. And the final typing, water typing. I loved how the Platypus looked in that. That is, if anything, that is also another contender for what could be what the water typing might look like. So that's another one of the scary things about these kind of leaks, is that the Pokemon that were chosen for these fake leaks were so meticulously chosen that they fit with what actually might have happened, what might actually be chosen in the new Pokemon generation. So a Platypus is definitely a good design, because the water types have always been, you know, just standard water creatures. You know, we got let's see, we got Blastoise, you know, the Squirtle line, all turtles, the Totodile, all reptiles, gator, crocodile, stuff like that. Oh man, Mudkip, based off of an amphibian-like creature. Axolotl, I believe it's called. I'd have to look up the name again. Like I said, I don't have anything in front of me. This is just off the top. What else is there? There's but you get what I'm saying. Oshawott, an otter, and the current one, Poplio, being a seal. You know, it's always been in a water-based creature. So with that, there's a huge slew of creatures that they could choose from, and a platypus is a really good choice. It's a really good choice. So again, whoever made these fakes did a fantastic job choosing the appropriate ones. What's it called? But what else? What are other possibles? What would I like to see? A water duck starter, I mean, we got Ducklet and Swanna, but I feel like we could get a really gnarly duck or goose-based one. What else is there? I mean, there are a lot of aquatic creatures to choose from. Manatee. I don't know. Maybe this might be the year of the tanky starters. A grass rhino, a fire ox, and a water manatee starter Pokemon. So, but probably not manatee. Maybe a porpoise. But I think also another criteria for those specific starters are water creatures that can also come on land too, because we got Squirtle, the turtle, because we got the turtle, the Axolotl, which is a amphibian which can crawl up onto land, but it's primarily in the water. What's it called? Oshawott the otter, the seal, a bunch of creatures that can go onto land as well as the water. So that might limit the number down. A beaver, out, make a good beaver Pokemon that isn't Bidoof or Bibarel. Not really hating on Bidoof or Bibarel, but everybody kind of hates on Bidoof and Bibarel. But let's see. I mean, there's a bunch of different Pokemon that a person can choose to use for a starter, especially for a water starter. That is. So, what other designs possible out there? I want to hear what you guys think. So that's always the three criteria that I've noticed when it concerns. Well, that's always the criteria I've noticed with these starters. The grass is always has the final evolution to where the overall design is based off an extinct species. Either dinosaur or ancient mammal or ancient bird. The fire starter has been based off of the Chinese zodiac, and the water starter has been based off of a sea creature that can go on to land. All right. So these are really hard to determine, but I feel like these are good choices to go with. So, me personally, I would love to see a grass Stegosaurus. That's my personal choice. But if I had to figure, I would probably see them doing a grass rhino as a starter. It's a possibility. It's a low possibility, but it is still a possibility, and that's my closest guess. I'm going to think it's a mammalian-based design this time, and I'm going to say rhino. Let's see, the fire starter, I liked how the leaked one was, and I'm going to go, I want to say the fire rabbit. That is a pretty cool design, but I am also looking at how it would be the dual typing later on if they decide to go dual typing. So I feel like this might be the year of the super tank starters. So I'm gonna go with grass Well, a grass rhino, a fire ox, and I don't really want to say water manatee because, well, manatees aren't both land and sea, but a water hippo. I'll go with that. So those are my guesstimates for this year's 3 starters. If you like these ideas, comment down below. If you have good ideas of what the starters could be, comment down below. If you have fan art that you want to share of you coming up with what my ideas might look like, leave them down below. I would love to see them. And if you have any better ideas, I would love to hear them. So leave a comment down below, like, share, maybe subscribe. I don't know. Depends on how often I want to do these. It looks like I'm doing these every so often when a new fake Fakemon comes out. So leave a like down below, share it with your friends, share it with your enemies, I don't care. Leave a comment, let me know what you guys think of my idea. If you guys have better ideas, you probably do. You're just as big of fans as I am. And just let me know. And as always, take care, everybody. Go catch them all. Peace.